How did we get here? How did we get here? What in the Alice in Wonderland nightmares is going on right now? All I can say is how fucking dare you? If you voted for that man, if you voted for anybody other than Kamala and you live in one of the states that it was, close, or if you didn't vote, fuck you.
The best is yet to come.
I chose family. I chose women. I chose America. I love you.
How the fuck is this still happening? All I've ever known politically is hatred.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all of this.
The biggest red wave I've seen since Ronald Reagan's 49-state victory.
There were appeals to racism in this campaign, and there is racial bias in this country, and there is sexism in this country.
I can't help but wonder if the American people have given up on democracy.
I hear what you're saying, and I do see it differently because I'm thinking about the people who are not a part of anybody's elite, who are hurting tonight.
If she were a 6'4" white man from Arkansas or from, Florida, do you think she would be losing by that much?
I think that we've got to be honest. Among Hispanic men and black men, there's a lot of misogyny.
There are African-American women who know a little bit about being talked down to, and know a little bit about having their economic dreams crushed, who tried to dream a big dream over the past couple months.
It's not enough to get enough white women to vote for Vice President Harris, a fellow woman. This will be the second opportunity that white women in this country have to change the way that they interact with the patriarchy.
There's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men. Mm-hmm. It's misogyny from Hispanic men.
Right.
It's misogyny from black men.
And tonight they're trading in a lot of hope for a lot of hurt. And they were hoping that maybe this time, one of their own could be seen as worthy.
Things we've all been talking about, who do not want a woman leading them. Might be race issues with Hispanics. They don't want a black woman as president of the United States.
To all the pollsters, the election pollsters, blow me. I don't ever want to from you again, ever.
People who said that he was a Hitler lover weren't Democrats, they were Republicans. People who said that he was a fascist weren't Democrats, they were Republicans who worked for him.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business. Complicated.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage of the 199. And what the hell's going on in this chat? We've already got gifties flying like they're going out of style. Holy hell. Like, I just looked, like, right when I got ready, I was like, what is happening? People are going crazy. Alec Baldwin's finger for 50 gifted memberships before the show even starts.
Who the fuck is Alec Baldwin's finger?
Thank you, ABF. Babo Yogi with 10 gifted memberships. Thank you. Cajun Corey with the gifted membership. Thank you. Cornboy with the super sticker. Thank you. Taker says, Jeremy, you look ridiculous without a hat on, hence why I wear the hat. Paul Stella says, glad you liked Thunderbolts. Thought I was the only one. Yeah, man. I even uploaded my video just now and I titled it like I hate it. I put like woke in the thumbnail. So a lot of these, hopefully these losers that are always screenshotting my videos will then put it out there. Go, see, he hates it again. And I didn't. I liked Thunderbolts. I thought it was good. Thank you though. I'm glad. Yeah, look, a lot of people that follow me, a lot of my friends, they don't like it. But I liked it. And so that's all it is. That's all there is to it. AOE2 Freak says, hail Jeremy and hail the chat. Let's freaking go. Harley Dave with a MAGA red $100. Look at Harley Dave. Boom. What is happening, man? You guys are out of control tonight. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's been a pretty good day, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pretty good day. I have to give a mad shout out to Steven Crowder. Steven Crowder today rated Geeks and Gamers Daily. And I thought that was pretty damn cool. This is when, so Steven Crowder puts his tweet up. Cool moment today over on Rumble video with Geeks and Gamers. Rumble is where it's at. Here we go.
Holy shit, we just got a massive raid over on the Rumble side from Steven Crowder.
Get the freak out of here.
Yeah, Steven Crowder just raided us massively over on Rumble. Oh,
that's good stuff right there. I think Jeremy the Cyborg sent me a video of it. Let me check and see. I didn't watch it. As you know, I don't watch Steven Crowder, but I appreciate it. Is this it right here? So Jeremy the Cyborg sent me this right here.
By the way, we do have a response from the Geeks and Gamers when we rated them. It seems like they were pretty appreciative. Oh, you want to see it?
Yeah, sure. That's cool. That's cool right there. Thank you, Jeremy the Cyborg. Appreciate that. So yeah, man. So that was cool. And I will not complain about Rumble today. So there you go. Okay. For today, I won't complain about Rumble. So there you go. I mean, I obviously like Rumble, but I will complain about him. But I do appreciate that. I would advise Steven Crowder to not watch any of my videos talking about him. Probably wouldn't make you happy, but we do appreciate it. And thank you to everybody. Hail the chat. Taker says, no, Jeremy, you're supposed to say, well, since you said I look ridiculous without a hat, I'll just not wear a hat all the time since you complain. Well, that would be the case if I so it's got to be something I'm already doing. You know what I mean? So the reason I wear the Mario hoodie is because I was already wearing the Mario hoodie. So I had already made the decision to wear the Mario hoodie. And then when someone says something stupid like, oh, I can't take you seriously in the Mario hoodie, then like, well, I'm going to keep fucking wearing it. But I actively do not go hatless because I've worn a hat my whole life. I am letting my hair grow out right now. My hair is longer than it's ever been, and I'm not cutting. What I usually do when my hair gets this length is I shave the sides with clippers. I'm not doing that right now. I'm actively just, at some point, I'm probably going to reveal my hair, but it's uncomfortably, it's uncomfortable right now. My hair has never been this length, so I'm going to keep letting it grow, and we'll see what the fuck happens. So anyway, I don't know if my hair, I don't know if it's going to go up or down or left or right. I have no idea. So time will tell. But I see what you're saying though, Taker. The Mass Marvel says, did Thunderbolts give you any hope for the future of MCU? No, absolutely zero. As I've said, I'm disconnected. And if you watch my video on Geeks and Gamers, I elaborate a little more, but I'm completely disconnected from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I think that my friends over on Friday Night Tights, I think that they had a more negative response because they're so intertwined in the MCU and they understand what's going on and they just were frustrated. I'm not. I don't know any of the intertwined stuff that's going on in that universe because I don't care. But no, it gives me no hope whatsoever. Legalize adulthood with a proper 199 says Dave Rubin called. He says you should keep wearing the Mario hoodie. He's eager to inspect your plumbing. LFG Ultra Mega Maga. Let's go. What's up, Legalize Adulthood? Now that might be one way to get me to stop. If Dave Rubin compliments it, that's an easy way to get me to stop. And Legalize Adulthood with 20 gifted memberships. Let's freaking go. Holy crap, man. What is happening? Are we hitting I mean, we're not going to break a record tonight on super chats or anything because the record's too high, but we're starting out pretty strong so far. So appreciate all of you and the support. Let's see. FYI, your episode count is still stuck at 199. CobraCast 199. People that watch me, they're probably like, Is this episode 199 like every time that they don't get the joke? So that makes a lot of sense. GTA 6 just got delayed until next year. Sad face. It's Nintendo's fault. It's all Nintendo's fault. That would be the way I would approach that. But yes, GTA 6 definitely delayed again. Darth Manic says, bought new headlights for my truck, went to install their LED, and I have HIDs. I'm angry retard of the month right here. You're not retard of the month. I'm retard of the year every year, and no one has defeated me in that. Okay. So no one at all. And with that proper 199, you're right, legalize adulthood. I'm sorry. You guys are overwhelming me in the beginning. The proper 199, I'll give you double Sydney Sweeney. Okay, there we go. We're going to celebrate. Okay, legalize adulthood, dropping the proper 199. There we go. There we go. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give you the extended version. Here we go.
Should I do it?
Do not come.
Come on, baby. Come on. I'm going to do it.
Do not come.
I'm going to come. Beautiful white paint. It's coming down at 10,000 miles an hour. It's coming down at levels of speed that nobody ever even conceived of. Where it's rough, but it's coming, and now it's turned around. It turns around, and it's coming, and it's going to, I said, oh, because you see at that bottom, this section right here, that sucker's, oh. Should I do it?
Do not come.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Damn it. I had it on loop. Sorry. I had it on loop, but double Sweeney.
I'm so happy you love the first drop of my collection of Frankie's bikinis. We have more dreamy pieces coming our way, so tap to sign up for early access so you can get more information.
Thank you, Legalize Adulthood. Greatly appreciate you. And yes, I see what you're saying. Where are you at? 1992. I actually had this pulled up. So right here, White House is live right now. I think they're live on YouTube as well. And they just have a loop going right now. So you could just relax and study to MAGA, baby. And it says, have a great weekend. Are they going to stay live all weekend? Ladies and gentlemen, do you understand how much of a difference this is from what we've had in the past? The previous administration, and this is just my belief, I don't have any proof of this. The previous administration, in my opinion, is the reason that the dislike button got removed from YouTube. Because they were getting ratioed like hell. If you remember this, they were getting ratioed every time Joe Biden would speak. The White House YouTube channel was getting ratioed. And not long after that is when YouTube made the decision to remove the dislike button. Now, I don't know if Trump is even aware of any of that stuff right there. I would love if Trump would get involved in that. And the reason I say that is because while telling you, man, Donald Trump, people don't understand. People don't understand how important Donald Trump is to every aspect of everything we're dealing with. I'm tired of people saying that leave politics out of it. The left has decided to intertwine politics into every single aspect of our lives. The left decided to do that. So now Donald Trump has come in and he is cleaning house. And this right here, this is insane to me. Now, as you know, I am a college football fan, okay? And I am an Alabama fan, okay? And I really have not liked the direction that college football has, gone in the last few years. And to my surprise, Donald Trump was at the University of Alabama yesterday, gave a speech. The greatest football coach of all time was there, Nick Saban, who retired from the University of Alabama a few years ago. I've said I don't believe Nick Saban's a Trump guy, but I'm not sure. But Nick Saban had a conversation with President Trump yesterday. And the NIL, which I think has completely destroyed college football. Nick Saban retired from the University of Alabama because of the NIL and the transfer portal. Nick Saban and Tommy Tuberville have had a conversation with President Trump, and President Trump is weighing an executive order on the NIL after meeting with Nick Saban and Tommy Tuberville. Holy shit. Are you kidding me? This is insane. The fact that President Trump might be signing an executive order to fix college football. What? That is wild. Now, I know a lot of you may not care, but I do. I care big time. And according to the Wall Street Journal, Saban told Trump that the current NIL system is damaging college sports. Trump agreed and directed White House staff to start drafting a plan. Both Saban and Tuberville spoke to Trump last night ahead of his commencement address to the University of Alabama on Thursday. U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville flew on Air Force One with Trump to Tuscaloosa. Let's fucking go. There's not another person in the world that has the ability to do what Donald Trump does. There's not another person. So it's unbelievable, man. So NIL is a great thing for college football. No, it's not. Not when it's unchecked. I hate it. I hate what it's doing to college football. But that's another discussion for another time. Harley Dave for 50 says, Jeremy, I wish most people understood how good of a person you are. Never is there a moment where the 199 is in need that Jeremy doesn't show up. Truly an incredible human. Are you being sarcastic, Harley Dave? Are you being sarcastic? Harley Dave for 20. People don't understand how important Jeremy is. Are you being more sarcastic, Harley Dave? What are you up to, Harley Dave? I do appreciate you, brother. I know me and you've had some conversations in the DMs, man. Harley's good people. Harley's awesome. I'm not a great person. I'm just an average person with the best audience in the world. And before I was on YouTube and before I was introduced to all of you, I was just a random retail worker in the state of Florida. And I just, I was just like many of you. I just had my opinions. I had my frustrations. I looked at the world and saw things and was frustrated with different things. And now I'm lucky enough to have the opportunity I have because of all of you. So I really appreciate it. Harley Dave says yes. Look at Harley freaking Dave, man. Good peeps right there. That's freaking awesome. Tonight, it's Double D Day. Cora, what's up? Legalize adulthood. Nico says Rockstar Games ended when Dan Houser left the company. GTA 6 is going to be a woke disaster. I'd rather buy and play Ready or Not, the SWAT simulator, instead of GTA 6. Thank you for the 20. I appreciate it. I've never been a GTA guy myself, so I have no vested interest in it whatsoever. Oh, I know it was a joke. I 100% know that. I know you were joking, but normal people could probably look at this and think, or not regular people that don't watch it, and probably like, what is up with the 199? Is this like his 199th episode all over again? Let's see. Crazy Clown Town said, "Hey, did you get a chance to open my gift I sent for your birthday? I know your life got crazy the last 2 months. I've been waiting, and I don't have it here. It's in my other office. But yeah, I've just been waiting to do it on stream. So maybe in a future stream we can do that. But yes, life is crazy right now for me. But doesn't mean anything. Everybody's got crazy stuff going on in their life. So, but I do appreciate you guys sending stuff to the P.O. Box. Grant Potato says, 1,100 watching. Get out there and lick the like button, peeps. Thank you. Robert Boker says, Jeremy is growing his hair out because it's the first step in his transition to a woman. Maxos BT says, where are my breets at? Eric K says, Jared, you happen to be the greatest streamer on YouTube, intelligent, on point, and with the long hair, you will soon show your romance novel good looks. It's going to be weird. I hope I can be strong and not cut my hair, because I truly get to a point where it's so easy for me. I take the clippers and I just shave my head. That's what I do. And then I'm ready to go full Edward Norton in American History X, right? So that's a joke. But Legalized Adulthood says, you should thank Kathleen Kennedy for your YouTube fame. Every day, I thank Kathleen Kennedy for it. Every day. Kathleen Kennedy, thank you for being an incompetent, dumb bitch and allowing a retard like me to be able to have so many people watching him on a consistent basis. I really do appreciate it. I thank you so much for all of those years and years of being on your knees and doing really, really hard work in order to give me an opportunity to roast your terrible, terrible job and give me a following. So thank you so much, Kathleen Kennedy. I really appreciate that. John Kennedy says, don't know if it's got mentioned. Sounds like James O'Keefe is going to drop a few bombshell reports. Hopefully something actually comes out of it and arrests are made. Hail 199-632-15. What's up, John Kennedy? Yeah, I saw the video from James O'Keefe, and I just was like, I have nothing against James O'Keefe. I like James O'Keefe, obviously. But I thought that it was a little theatrics. It was a little too theatrical, and I'm like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? But hey, I hope he's okay, and I hope whatever he's into, I hope it turns out to be a huge story. I do think, and let's talk about some of the stuff going on today, because, man, I think we're on the cusp of something bad. And by the way, I'm not the first person that's said this, okay? So I'm not pretending that I'm the first person, but it feels like we're on the cusp of a race war. And I say that very reluctantly, because I don't really want that to happen, but it feels like that's exactly where we're heading. And it's all because of this woman right here in this viral video. And the idea that somebody recorded her with the intent to expose her, and all it's done is made her famous, and made her famous in all the wrong reasons for the intent for why they were trying to make her famous. And I played the video. You know, she obviously, there's a story that, like, so there's a young black kid, I guess, that's trying to take something from her son, and she called the kid the N-word, and then somebody picks up the phone and starts recording as a gotcha. Apparently, from what I understand, the person that recorded her, I don't know for sure, so I'm not going to make any direct accusations, but let's just say this person was not a very upstanding citizen based on what you're hearing. She did not back down. She then continued to say the word over and over again. And now, at the last time I looked, she initially put up a GoFundMe. I believe that the initial goal for the GoFundMe was $100,000. At the last time I looked, she had cleared $400,000 in donations to help her move and to relocate her family, because she's being doxxed and threatened and all of this stuff. And in a lot of ways, she's symbolic for a lot of people's frustration over the fact that it's not even that you can't say words as white people. It's that we're told over and over again that a word is offensive, yet that word is being used constantly by the same people we're told that it's that it's offensive. And at the end of the day, words are not offensive. Words are just words. And anytime that you build up this mythical word that apparently you claim it hurts your feelings, yet all you do is call each other that. It's really fucking retarded. And I've seen a widespread reaction to this. Now, the fact that she's made $400,000, there's a meme that's funny that, oh, you could say the N-word and get $400,000. That's funny. That's a meme. What do I think the long-term effects of this will be? I do think that we're kind of heading in the, like, she's, first of all, let me make it clear. In the big scheme of things, she did nothing wrong. Now, would I suggest calling a child any type of offensive word? Not really. I don't think that's appropriate. However, where were the parents at in this situation? Also, that's a good question that's not being asked right now. Apparently, this kid was alone in a park. Where are the kid's parents at? Why is that not part of the discussion? Now, there could be a simple answer to that question, but I don't know the answer to that question. Where's the kid? Where's the kid? Where's his parents? Why does he not have a adult supervising him at that point in time? You know? So it's a strange situation, and the reaction has been pretty wild. Right here, the black community is attempting to have her children removed from her for saying the N-word. This is exactly why people are donating. That's what the headline said.
And in 2025, this is what you do. And the fact that you did that when that little boy's parents were not around, they were not present. What kind of person are you behind closed?
Where were his parents? Did you just hear what you said? I haven't even listened to this clip yet. Where were his fucking parents? Why would you be more outraged that a child is alone in a park and he's stealing from another child and his parents are nowhere to be found? I got to rewind that.
And in 2025, this is what you do. And the fact that you did that when that little boy's parents were not around.
Where were they?
They were not present. What kind of person are you behind closed doors? Like, I'm fearful of your children. And
why aren't you upset about the fucking parents that are nowhere to be found? Jesus.
Hope that they get removed from your care because you are breeding something that a monster. They deserve so much better than you. You are the lowest person. And the people in the comments that are comment anonymously, you picked the wrong fucking thing to be like you. That's a battle you're never going to win. There's people interracing all the time. Everybody's mixed with something. All the problems in the world right now, and you choose to be racist. Blow up her shit. Like, blow it up. Go to her GoFundMe. Report people on that. Get it shut down. She doesn't. $100,000. $100,000 because you're racist.
It's actually $400,000 now. So again, I even said it, man. What was the kid, the black kid that stabbed the white kid and he had to GoFundMe? What was it? I don't even remember his fucking name. Whatever. The black kid that stabbed the white kid and killed the white kid, he had a GoFundMe. I said that I don't think that GoFundMe should be taken down either. If people are wanting to, Carmelo Anthony, that's it. Yeah, I should remember that because Carmelo Anthony was actually a NBA player. But so Carmelo Anthony, I said that I don't think that GoFundMe should be taken down, because people were upset that, it had, 700,000 or whatever, how much money it was. I'm like, hey, look, man, if people want to give their money, people have the right to give their fucking money. I don't think that we should have some, situation where we pick and choose which GoFundMe and which whatever it's called, Give, Send, Go. I don't think we should be taking them down based on the fact of hurt feelings. If people want to give their money, give their fucking money. So it's the same thing that applies to this chick too. Do I think it's crazy that she's made nearly $500,000 off this? Not really, because I know where it's coming from. I know where the anger and the frustration is coming from. But the whole thing with Carmelo Anthony, like, That was fine by me. And so is her GoFundMe being up. She's gone mega viral. She didn't ask for this. She didn't sit there and say, I want to be famous. She was filmed by some creep and the attempt was to make her famous. Well, you made her famous and you're making her very rich. So it's a complete backfire. And so, but I'm seeing a lot of people right now on social media with the use of the N-word, because it's so scary, apparently, even though nobody's really offended by this, by the way. But I'm seeing a lot of people using it right now. And I just think that we're on the cusp of something really bad. And the reason I think it could be really bad is because of the way that the mainstream media, which even though the mainstream media has little to no power anymore, they still influence very retarded people. They influence retarded people, and that is a problem. And so that worries me. We saw what happened with the Summer of Love. We saw, how it happened when Barack Obama was president. And the good news is at least President Trump is here now and he's got more power than he's ever had. But I feel like we're on the cusp of something pretty rough right now if we keep going in this direction. And I don't think anything's slowing it down, because I think people are just sick and tired of this shit, man. I really do. And honestly, I think there's a lot of black people that are tired of this shit too. I think there's a lot of black people that are tired of the racial division that's being pushed by the left. I don't think it's necessarily a black versus white thing. I think it's a common sense versus stupid motherfucker thing. That's what I think it is. JMNZZ450 says, white women of the snake pit, I hereby bestow upon you the coveted N-word pass. Soft A and hard R. Go crazy and have fun, especially during bedroom time. Now I'm off to save the world as one of Trump's secret African Americans. LFG, hail the 199. Let's go. Thank you, JMNZZ450. Harley Dave says, I support a legalized adulthood, even if you are still gay. However, the 199 helps each other out. No one should ever forget that. You're damn right. Thank you, Harley. I appreciate it, brother. Greatly do, man. Appreciate your nice words. Chris Whiting for $45.47. Let's fucking go. Hi, Jeremy. I'm trying to lose 40 pounds. I just lost 20, trying to lose 20 more. Can you fat shame me? I just feel like if I got fat shamed by a gay bald loser big like you, I could muster up the strength to carry on. Thanks, man. Chris, I'm not sure if you're a married man or if you have a girlfriend. Probably not, because you're a fat fuck. But let's go ahead and pretend that you don't. And if you can lose 20 more pounds, I have it on good authority that she will show up to your house and give you whatever you need. Okay. So if you can lose 20 more pounds, Sydney Sweeney will show up to your house. Okay. So there you go. All right. I even gave you a proper 199. So there you go. All right. That's your motivation right there. Did you like that subtle way that I fat shamed you? You like that, huh? Panic and Skyfaller says, people are so stupid, they don't understand their virtue signaling and showing their fundraiser in countless angry retweets is free viral advertisement. She found the IRL infinite money glitch. This is true. This is true. Let's see. ABF didn't drop another 50, did he? It showed up. It's weird because it shows up twice, but I don't think ABF dropped another 50, did he? Doesn't matter. We're going to give him another shout out. Alec Baldwin's finger for 50 again. Did he drop 50 again? He didn't drop a second 50, did he? It's weird to see because I don't know, but it showed up a second one, but he don't miss. Okay. Alec Baldwin's finger don't miss. 50 gifted memberships. Yes, Solo Felix, I can't keep up with the chat. You guys are kind of overwhelming me at this point in time. So All I can do. GB Baylor says, what if it's a psyop? The GoFundMe is going towards Act Blue, Soros, etc. I mean, I guess that's possible, but, you know, we're seeing people like Ian Miles Chong, who's one of the worst people on the planet. Ian Miles Chong is out there trying to lie about her, which, again, if you want to buy into if it's a psyop, which I personally don't think is a psyop. I don't. But you got Ian Miles Chong putting shit like this out right here. And he says, white nationalists are upset after finding out that this, whatever her name is, Hendricks is a, you know what? So that's not her. He got community noted. Basically, Ian Miles Chungus is really upset because somebody has outgrifted him. That's essentially what he's mad because somebody's outgrifting him. So he's trying to spin the narrative, and it's not working. So that's not her. And it's a unrelated Pinterest post. So he got community noted. He's a piece of garbage. He always has been. But somebody that's not is Jeremy the Cyborg for 50 gifted memberships. Holy shit, Jeremy the Cyborg. What are you dropped a big $500 super chat on freaking Friday Night Tights. This man has lost his mind in the best way possible. I do have to give you a shout out, Jeremy the Cyborg, because on Monday Night Raw, I've showed this a couple times. On Monday Night Raw, he had this sign right here, okay? And I got to switch here for a minute. And in the crowd on TV, there is Jeremy the Cyborg right there with Gunther. And there's the Geeks and Gamers 199 sign out in the audience. Hail to Jeremy the Cyborg. Freaking awesome, man. Absolutely awesome. So I always have to give you a shout out for that, man, because that's super freaking cool. In terms of the weight loss stuff, like, I will tell you, like, you guys know this. And when I'm saying these words, I am talking about myself, okay? I'm not saying other people don't suffer from things or whatever, okay? I'm just telling you that I personally do not believe in addiction. I don't believe in it. I believe in a weak mind and a strong mind. And I don't think I'm never going to be addicted to anything because I don't believe in addiction. Again, doesn't mean that you can't, doesn't mean that you don't know people. I've known people in life that have been addicted to things, whatever. But like you guys know, I like going to Culver's. I like, my double cheeseburgers. I've stopped eating Culver's. I have been drinking soda my entire life. I stopped. I cut about 90% of soda out probably about a month ago now. And now I'm probably at about 98% soda completely out of my diet now. No soda. And no when I eat fast food, it's very like I'll eat like a grilled chicken sandwich or some shit like that. So the mind is your biggest thing that you have to overcome in that situation. You just have to put your mind to it. Like, honestly, it's something stupid, but it's stupid things that motivate me. For instance, I bought this Yeti several months ago. This is why I drink so much water, because I just keep freezing cold water at all times. I bought a Yeti cooler and I keep it full of ice and water, and I keep it in my truck, and I'm just always drinking water now. So that's what I did. I bought a Yeti and I keep it slam full, and that's it. No, I'm not sponsored by Yeti. So if you think I'm sponsored by Yeti, I'm not. They can go fuck themselves because I spent a lot of money on both of these damn Yeti cups. But that's how I do it right there. I just, and then of course I do bike riding and things like that to keep my cardio up. And I've cut out a lot of fast food and a lot of soda. It's really not difficult if you just find the proper motivation. So anyway, I hope everybody out there you go right there. Johnny the Whiz Kid says, lost 20 pounds, reached my goal before my Japan trip. That's what's up, brother. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. Let's see that one. Sally Ito, a gifted membership. Thank you, Sally Ito. I did want to talk about Donald Trump yesterday because his commencement speech at the University of Alabama was a topic on the 5. I want to hear what they have to say because what's awesome is that Trump basically made this into a rally. This was a rally for Trump. It was absolutely amazing. I loved it, man. I was like, what in the hell? Like, he made a rally speech. It was awesome.
Speech at the University of Alabama, imparting his pearls of wisdom to the class of 2025 and hailing them as the lucky first graduates of the golden age.
You've done a lot of winning. Winning is a good thing to do. But today I'm also asking you to look forward to really something very, very bright and more promising. You're the first graduating class of the golden age of America. It is clear to see the next chapter of the American story will not be written by the Harvard Crimson. It will be written by you, the Crimson Tide. In America, we reject that idea that anyone is born a victim. Our heroes are the ones who take charge of their own destiny, make their own luck, and determine their own fate despite the odds. You're one of a kind, so don't try to be someone else. Just be yourself.
President Trump was also spicing things up with some of his classic rally zingers.
Elon is so terrific, but I know now all of them, they all hated me in my first term, and now they're kissing my ass, Do you know? It's true. You ever see the weightlifting? Where they have a record that wasn't broken in 18 years, and they have, should I imitate it? My wife gets very upset when I do this, and she gets it. Mom, I'm going to do it, Mom. Can't do it. He had
Bro, I got to show this. I got to interrupt this because Donald Trump just posted this to Truth Social. President Trump just posted this to Truth Social. It comes after he told the media this week that he wants to be the next pope. Let's go. Oh my God, dude. He is such a troll. I love it so damn much. Trump is the best. They're going to be so triggered over that one too.
Wife, I must tell you, it was a second wife. It was a trophy wife. What can I say?
Oh, boy. All right. You know what? If anyone can deliver a message and mesmerize a crowd.
Hang on. We got to hear it again.
Mom, I'm going to do it, Mom. Can't do it. He had a wife. I must tell you, it was a second wife. It was a trophy wife. What can I say?
Oh, boy. All right. You know what? If anyone can deliver a message and mesmerize a crowd, it's Donald Trump. And he knows how to work a crowd when he talks about, should I say it? My wife doesn't like when I say it. What do you think, Martha?
Well, I was watching some of the other networks talk about this today, and they were saying, where was the commencement speech? They only played that stuff. There was no commencement speech. And then listening to the top of what we just played, there was absolutely a commencement speech message in there. He's saying, if you go the safe route, don't go the safe route. If you want to go to the top, you're never going to do it unless you break the system. I mean, it was very, I think that, some people might like it, some people might not like it, but the message was clearly merit is what wins.
Yes.
Be bold, don't sit back, be part of this next generation. We reject the idea that anyone is born a victim. Our heroes are the ones who take charge of their own destiny, make their own luck, determine their own fate despite the odds. And then he encouraged them to build things. Don't just build a portfolio. Go out there and build buildings, build manufacturing sites.
This is what a leader should be doing. This is what America has lost. We have lost the ability to dream. We have lost the ability to innovate. We have lost that ability, and he is bringing it back. I've talked about this many times. It may seem simple, but it's not simple. When you were a kid, when I was a kid, I know my audience demographics. I know what age the majority of people that watch me are. When we were kids, when you would go driving past a Toys R Us, your imagination would run wild. when you would go driving past a Pizza Hut and that amazing architecture that the Pizza Hut had, or when you see a McDonald's and you see the golden arches and you would see all that whimsical stuff on the windows and the design of it. You go inside of Toys R Us and all of that art, and your imagination runs wild as a kid, and it makes you just think about all the possibilities and all of the amazing opportunities and things like that. Now we look at what we have today. Every fucking McDonald's looks like a bank. The Pizza Huts look like a fucking bank. They're all cookie cutter. They're all the same. It's depressing. It doesn't create any emotion whatsoever. You don't care. There's no excitement involved in it. There's no colors popping. There's nothing. It's just boring and it's fucking bland. And that's what the mainstream and the powers that be want everything to be. They want everything to be fucking bland. They want to take that imagination out of the equation. They don't want you to think that there's more possibilities than what's right in front of you. And Trump is bringing all of that back. And that's what we need. That's what we have to have. Thank God for President Trump.
And so I think the message was very clear. I also think that you look at the message about the Ivy League, and the next leaders are not going to come from Harvard, from the Harvard Crimson. They're going to come from the Crimson Tide. We see this. We see people across the country disappointed with the Ivy League universities. People who went there disappointed by them. So they're looking for these other schools, and they're seeing that you can get a great education and that you can do something bold going to these other schools. I think it's a very weak moment for Harvard and the others. And there's a lot of alumni who are not going to send them money anymore. And Trump's trying to break them.
Yeah, for sure.
But I thought there was a lot of commencement inspiration in there if you looked for it.
You know, the president's speech, Jesse, was very optimistic. It was very promising. He talked about these young graduates being the greatest generation of America. But I want you to listen to this sound of Joe Biden's last commencement speech.
Well, that's my commitment to you, to show you democracy, democracy, democracy is still the way. If black men are being killed in the street, we bear witness. For me, that means to call out the poison of white supremacy, to root out systemic racism.
Sense of difference?
Yeah, so usually when you're at your graduation ceremony, you have your parents. Yeah.
I just saw a tweet from Asmongold. Asmongold, are you watching right now? Are you watching? Look at here. So here's one of the Kranzensteins, and he's quote tweeting the GoFundMe thing, you know, with the girl, urgent please share and tag Gibson Go, who markets themselves as a Christian crowdfunding platform with a goal of being God-centered. Alternatives like GoFundMe. They helped raise $360,000 for a woman who called a child the N-word. Story below. Asmongold 6 minutes ago just responded and says, pathetic Karen, I can speak to the manager behavior. Where was this tweet when Carmelo Anthony Gibson Go hit 500,000? In what universe is calling someone a word worse than stabbing someone in the chest with a knife and killing them? Both or neither should be removed. And that's generally, and I'm joking. I know Asmongold doesn't watch me, but Asmongold's the biggest streamer in the world right now. And I like a lot of his takes. He's got a lot of level-headed takes, and I disagree with a lot of what he has to say, but generally it's very level-headed most of the time. Now, I understand his point, though, of both or neither should be removed. That's from the perspective of the cancel mob mentality. But the reality of it is neither should be removed. Neither should be removed. The Carmelo Anthony Gibson Go should not be removed. And this girl's Gibson Go should not be removed. And no one else's should be removed as long as you are not having clear, definitive lines. That's all we need. Clear, definitive lines. If you are not, using something for illegal activity or whatever, like just because people disagree with it or maybe they got offended over it, it doesn't matter. We just need clear, definitive rules. And that way, when someone breaks the rules, it's easy to understand. And when you're not breaking the rules, it's easy to understand. It's that simple. So I just wanted to show that really quick. I thought that was pretty good. Back to this, and let me get to a few super chats. Ed Bourne says, just got back from voting Australia, and in the light of the idiots on offer and in honor of this stream and the 199, I wrote in Trump. Let's freaking go. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. John freaking Murdoch. Sorry to chat and run. Noticed you were streaming. Thank you, John freaking Murdoch. Holy crap. Always showing up with a 50. Thank you, brother. Let's see. Jonas says, go back to sleep. Joe, good old Joe. Joe doesn't know where he's at. He has no idea. Robo Zombie says, we need a Hunger Games competition using illegal game members and child offenders and call it Aliens versus Predators. The winner gets deported or jail. Arena tickets and VOD can go to paying the deficit. I mean, I'm not against that. That sounds pretty damn fun, to be honest with you. I see you. Where was it? Vault 95 says, bailed on Tim for SmackDown. Bailed on SmackDown for CobraCast. I respect it. Although, hail to our peeps over on the local side, 199 covering SmackDown tonight. Harley Dave says, mind the gap. Harley Dave's on it tonight, man.
You have your grandparents, you have your family there. Do you want to hear the speaker talk about racism and how you can't do things and how you're fighting white supremacy? Absolutely not.
Nope.
When I graduated by the skin of my teeth, because I was checking to see if there was actually a diploma in there, we had Joe Lieberman as my speaker. Yeah. Not as charismatic, but the message was good. Solid. And it was a similar message to Donald Trump. And you're right, Martha. For me, I took away it was about competition. And he mentioned the fact that Barack Obama, Hussein Obama, told him at the Correspondence Center, Donald Trump's never going to be president. And there's a lot of teams that during the week, if an opposing team says something derogatory about you, they'll put the quote up in the locker room and everybody will look at it before they go out into the practice field.
Yep.
And it's motivation.
Bulletin
fuel.
board material.
And he took that fuel and he ran with it and became president not once, but twice. About a year and a half ago, Gutfeld said, Jesse Waters is boring.
That's true. I did.
I plastered it above my door in my office. And every time I walk to hair and makeup, I see it. And he motivates me. The Harvard Crimson Tide thing, Kevin O'Leary says he doesn't hire people from the Ivy Leagues unless they played sports because they're just toxic and you can't trust them. And so Jesse Waters is now doing early decision, Crimson Tide. We're not doing Ivies anymore. And that's not just because he's not doing well so far in pre-K. It's just because I want to go to a school with nice weather, good football team, good values. And I think there should be attractive women there. From what I've heard, there's very attractive women. We're actually having 2 Crimson Tide grads on the show tonight at 8.
And they're both women,
I don't know if they're women or not. I haven't checked.
All right. Do you want to respond to what he said?
I am disgusted by everybody here. When he was doing this thing, clearly he was mocking a disabled reporter. And we're going to hear about that Monday on Morning Joe. You're right, though. That happened at the University of Alabama. Good for the University of Alabama. It's a great advertisement for them.
Yes.
This is why a lot of students are going south. They're saying all the southern universities are getting more people. And what a contrast.
It's crazy, man, because I don't have a ton of confidence in the football program right now. I don't dislike Kalen DeBoer, who's our new head football coach, but I wasn't overly impressed. But at the same time, nobody was going to be impressive after Saban. But this Trump showing up there and giving this speech and the university fully embracing him, this was really good optics for the University of Alabama. It really was.
What did we see this week? Kamala babbling about pachyderms, Tim Walz spouting queer studies lingo like code talk and performative structure. Meanwhile, here's a guy who happily speaks the truth, and he's willing to bear the risk and whatever consequences his words bring. You know, it would have been nice if a Democrat could do that. They could have been honest and blunt. They had plenty of time about Joe Biden, about trans, about the border, about crime, but instead they hid themselves behind the science of identity politics and the rhetoric, that dumb rhetoric that Walz uses. Trump didn't just set the bar for presidents and leaders. He burned it. He set it on fire. Then he built a new bar. It's no longer about politics. It's about persuasion. It's no longer about us versus them. It's about us first. It's about transparency versus cover-ups, bluntness versus jargon. The guy won't kiss babies and he won't kiss asses. But more than anything, he makes us laugh. And unlike Biden, it's with him, not at him.
Would you like to wrap it up, Harold?
Sure. I thought any student in the country who has an opportunity to have the President of the United States speak at his or her commencement, college, high school, law school, medical, whatever it might be, it's a blessing. And I hope that those at the University of Alabama realize how fortunate they are. I thought the speech was typical President Trump. I would have probably done it a little differently. I differ with those around the table about when he.
Well, Trump knows how to work any situation. So Donald Trump's the most important person, no matter where he goes. I've said this for years. It was even this way before he was president. There's just an energy and an aura that Donald Trump has, where no matter where he goes, he's the most important and interesting person in any situation. Okay. Now, recognizing that is important, which he does, and recognizing how to utilize that to your advantage is also important. Now, just because he's the most important man in the room doesn't mean that he can't read the room. And maybe some of you will understand this and some of you won't. At the University of Alabama, there's somebody that's actually a little more important than President Trump, even when Trump is there. And that's Nick Saban. That's just the truth of the matter. And you know how Trump handled that? Here's Margot Martin. President Trump to Nick Saban and the university president, Stuart Bell. After you fellas, anybody that won that many games should go first. Trump showing respect to the GOAT, Nick Saban. After you fellas. Anybody that won that many games should go first. Absolute mega Chad energy from Trump. He understands the situation. Like, that's who he is. And it's masterful, and it's something you can't teach. It's something that you can't, fake. It's what he does.
He talked about with Harvard and Alabama. I understand some of the cute politics at the moment, but great graduation speeches and commencement addresses never pit Americans versus Americans. You can talk about the higher ideals, and you can talk about the hard things we have to do as a country. I would love the president to have said, look, you graduated at a time at the beginning of my new golden age, and there may be some challenge and difficulty, but there's been challenge and difficulty in our country in the past, and we've overcome it. I'd have talked about the new sources of energy that this group is going to have to deal with. Produce for us new cures and new therapeutics and new innovation that they will be at the forefront of. So I would have challenged him a little differently. I just don't think you pit people against one another. Well, let me just finish. But if I were graduating, I know the West Point grads are going to have an opportunity to hear the president. That's something you would always want and always treasure, knowing that he was your commencement speaker.
So when Biden
hang on,
pit Americans against Americans, you didn't like that either.
Judge, I'm consistent. I call balls and strikes. I don't. Yes. I didn't, and I don't now.
Thank you. Ahead, Elon Musk and the Doge.
Now there's something, dude, this is going viral right now. Like, everybody's talking about this. So if you're just tuning in, President Trump over on Truth Social, President Trump has tweeted out thank you, Disclose TV, for letting us know his AI generated photo of himself. We would have never known that. But yeah, so him posting this has gone mega viral right now. Everybody's talking about it. It's so good. Earlier this week, President Trump had jokingly told the media that he should be the next pope. And I'm pretty sure that brains are going to melt over this whole situation. Something that happened today that I'm not going to spend too much time on because I'm not fully invested in it. So many of you may know, many of you may not know, and many of you may not care. But there's a couple of massive streamers that had a debate today. Ethan Klein of H3H3 and Hassan Piker. Both of them used to be friends. And then they had a falling out. Hassan then runs to iDubbbz, who's another big YouTuber, to help him try to take Ethan down. They release a content cop. it backfires massively. It could possibly have ended iDubbbz's career, how bad the backlash was. And they had their big debate today. And there's one clip in particular I wanna show you guys. It's to kind of sum up the whole thing right here. So this is Ethan Klein, and he is Jewish, and he's very much defending himself against Hassan, who's a pro-Palestine guy. And just watch how this plays out.
Didn't leave because we were Zionists. We left because we were no longer safe.
Okay.
Explain to me.
I can't wait to bring up obviously on the broadcast to make you fucking look like a dumbass.
I can't wait to. And now explain what he means by that. We did not leave Iraq because we were Zionists. We left because we were no longer safe.
Iraqis are not Palestinian. You fucking moron. You racist piece of shit.
What?
Because Iraq and the pan-Arabic nationalist movements that arise out of
you are out of your mind.
Is not about Palestinians.
Okay, so what did the Jews in Iraq have to do with fucking Israel? You bigot.
Actually fucking
you are so out of your mind.
And then Iraqis,
dude, you screaming and grandstanding doesn't mean you're right.
Iraqi government's racism during the pan-Arabic nationalist movements as a vindication for why, or a comparison as to why Israel had to do the Nakba.
Do you think
you fucking racist piece of shit?
Thanks, Hassan.
Do you think Iraq?
Do you
think all Arabs have one fucking mind?
Why
Is that what you think?
Were the Iraqi Jews leaving Iraq in fear?
Of course, there were Iraqi Jews that left Iraq in fear. I've never said that there were no
Answer
Iraqi
the question.
Jews that left
You want to
Iraq
call
in
me
fear.
racist? Why were Iraqi Jews leaving to go to Israel?
Because you're a fucking moron.
That's why they left. They left because I'm a fucking moron.
That Arabs are
Hassan,
not
you
one-minded.
coward.
That there
You
were numerous
coward.
pan-Arabic
Answer
nationalist
the
movements
question. You're going to
that
call
were
me
sparking
racist,
up
but you won't
all around
answer.
the region,
Why
Ethan.
did the Iraqi Jews leave Iraq?
There were numerous
Because of
reasons. Why did the Israeli
anti-Semitism.
government-
They hated Jewish people that had nothing to do with Israel. They were forced to leave. They were chased out. They lived there for thousands of years.
People.
They
Yes,
had
everyone
businesses. They had homes that they were forced to abandon to go to Israel because it was the only fucking place they could. Why would Iraqis hate the Jews living there if they had nothing to do with Zionism or Israel? Why?
Because settler colonialism
That
was
has
already
nothing to do
taking
with them, you
place in
absolute
British
fucking
Mandate
dumbass.
Palestine.
Did it?
I don't know how long this debate went on. I couldn't believe there was Ethan Klein had like 85,000 people watching him live on YouTube at the height of this. I think somebody can probably correct me on that. It maybe have been more, maybe a little bit less. I'm not sure, but there was like 80 something thousand, 5 hours ArcLight. This thing went on for 5 hours. Oh God. Holy shit. It was plus 90,000 at the peak. Asman had 250,000 at points. Holy crap. Listen, man, that's insane. Like we can dismiss, and this is what I'm talking about, like influencers, online influencers. I hate the term influencers, but it's the only word to, utilize or to describe what these people are. They're the ones that turn the needle. They're more important than Hollywood celebrities. They're more important than mainstream media pundits, talking heads, whatever. It's people that have YouTube channels and Twitch channels and Rumble channels. They're the ones. And I know that because there's so many personalities out there, you have fan bases all over the place, and you have a group of people. Oh, I hate this guy. Oh, I love that guy. Oh, I don't care about that guy. Like that's the decentralized world of the internet, where everybody has an opportunity to build their following and talk to their audience. And I find personally, like, don't get me wrong, like this was probably very beneficial to Ethan Klein today from a financial standpoint. Optically, from what I've seen, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, it looks like Ethan Klein destroyed Hassan. It looks like it was a brutal beatdown from what people are saying online. It looks like Hassan took a massive, massive L. And this is on top of the massive L that he took with iDubbbz and the content cop and all of that. Yes, it wasn't even close. Ethan cooked his ass. Yes. Is Ethan on crack? No, Ethan Klein is, I don't think he's like sick or anything like that. He lost a lot of weight. I know he's got Tourette's, Tourette's, I think, and some other stuff, but he has, some medical issues, but I don't think he has any life-threatening things going on, but he did lose a lot of weight. I have I used to watch Ethan Klein back when he used to be a little more, I don't know, man. Ethan's just kind of become lost, and I'll never forget when, so he did an interview with Jordan B. Peterson. I've talked about this. He did an interview with Jordan B. Peterson. I'm no fan of Jordan B. Peterson, but he did an interview with him. And then once he started to move into this whole leftist thing, he removed a bunch of his interviews, including the one with Jordan B. Peterson. He privated it or whatever. Jordan B. Peterson tweeted at him and tagged him and said, "Hey, I thought we had a good discussion. Why are you removing that? Maybe you can send me a copy so I can have it." And I guess Ethan was basically like, "Oh, you're a whatever, racist, whatever he called him." And Jordan B. Peterson said, "The crowd that you are pandering to will eat you alive. Be very careful with the road that you're going down, Ethan Klein, because where you're going, they will never accept you and they will eat you alive the moment that you step out of line." I'm not quoting it exactly, but that's essentially what he said to Ethan Klein. And guess what? He was 1000% right. That leftist audience that you pandered to ate you alive. You can never be audience captured if you're online. It will never work out good for you. You can't be audience captured. You can't just be scared to be honest with your audience. That's not a good play at all. It never has been and it never will be. Being honest is the best policy for your audience. And if people are going to unsubscribe or unfollow you because you shared an opinion that they didn't like, they weren't worth keeping around anyway, because they were always going to leave at some point. You can't tiptoe around it. The best thing you can do to your audience is be honest with them. That's it. And Ethan Klein abandoned the audience that he once had because he wanted to move into this leftist world. And that leftist world was always going to eat him alive, and he pandered and tap danced for them for as long as he could. And then eventually he had one opinion that didn't line up with that new audience, and they've eaten him alive now. It's absolutely insane, man. So I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but I did want to make a note because that was a huge, huge story today on the internet. I may watch Asmund Gold's reaction to it. But I'm certainly not just going to sit there and watch their back and forth because holy shit, man. What a disaster. Let me catch up on some super chats. Alice McCarthy says Beardo thought RKO was Randy knockout. Fuck. Who would bring a guy like Beardo on to host wrestling streams? Who would make that decision? Oh yeah, me. Jason JJJ says Jeremy Tom Homan may try and arrest Governor Tom Evers here in Wisconsin for aiding illegals. Your thoughts? If he's aiding illegals, he should absolutely be held accountable. I mean, we've lost the ability, not only in online, but in government and everything. We've lost the ability to have clear, definitive rules. I have no problem with rules. I have problems when rules aren't carried out properly. Now, I'll say this. I've been on YouTube for a long time. I feel YouTube has been the most consistent platform of the bigger platforms in terms of they've been pretty good about having more clarity than most, even though they don't always have that clarity. Twitch is a shit show. Twitter used to be a shit show. Twitter was absolutely horrible in terms of Jack Dorsey's Twitter. Now, we live in a different world now. So, I mean, you have Rumble out there, and Rumble's probably this. If you're talking about true free speech, Rumble might be the only true free speech platform because Twitter's not a free speech platform. They've marketed it as that. It's not. It's not a complete free speech platform. I would think that Rumble might be the only true one out there. My point being is that whether it's in social media, whether it's in government, whether it's in wherever, consistent rules need to be implemented. And so if you're having governors and judges harboring illegal immigrants, then yes, they should be held accountable, period, end of discussion. They know it's wrong, and they will continue to do it as long as they are not held accountable. So hold them accountable. So Sammy says, I blame Obama and his husband, Big Mike. Heartbreaker Zero says, no IDOT left behind, gay Remy. Johnny Witzkid, I got that one earlier. John Q Ghost, what's up, John Q Ghost? Mola Rem says, aren't you addicted to grifting? I mean, you know, for the Twitter world out there, I guess I am. For the Twitter people that think that of me, yeah, I guess so. Panic and Skyfaller says $454,000 as of 10:40 a.m. or 10:40 Eastern. Holy shit! For the Empress has lost 105 pounds in the last 2 years. Really, that's a lot. Nico says, hail the 199. Dragon Dan says, I want to see Trump dressed as Pope eating McDonald's. Darth Manic says, it shows that you quit eating Culver's. You looking fine. Hey, bro. Chill. No gayness here, okay? Darth Manic says, do you wear short shorts while riding your bike with American flag in your crack? What? Kicking it with Timmy B becomes a new member. Thank you. Eric K says, play the Ilhan Omar clip with her tweet. I have that bookmarked. Taker says, Jeremy, you're welcome to adopt the Seattle Seahawks as your pro team because we drafted Milroe. No, see, Seattle has had a history. Like when Sean Alexander was there, you've had a few Alabama players. When Sean Alexander was there, Sean Alexander said that the Seattle Seahawks had a college football mentality. The fan base and everything. And this was before like they blew up with, you know, Russell Wilson and all of that. But Seattle is too left leaning, man. I can't. Seattle's just too weird, man. It's too weird. So, Milroe, though, I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about Jalen Milroe. I think that he's a great athlete. I'm not sure he's an NFL quarterback, but I'll be pulling for him. I like him. He's a good dude. So, let's see. LeBron is the GOAT. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, if LeBron's the GOAT, hey, how about this? If LeBron's the GOAT, drop $500 super chat. If he's the GOAT, go ahead and do it. I won't argue with you. Drop me a $500. Just put your money where your mouth is, motherfucker. Okay. If LeBron's the GOAT, drop $500 super chat. All right. By the end of the show. Okay. Panica Skyfaller says, whatever her name is, Shallow, whatever, Hendricks has enough funds to buy Sony out of their Concord debt. John Q Ghost with a $10 gifted or $10 super sticker. Thank you so much. Get woke, go broke says Trump, MAGA all day. Can we get the Brett and Jeans video for the next Proper 199? Are you a chick? Are you a chick? I don't have that like in my StreamYard rotation. I got that one. Pre-Dawn Corpse says, wearing your hat all the time is definitely a Southern thing. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Jay Ray says, if you're the retard of the year, what was Beardo? Mega retard of the year. The red Necron for a new member message. Thank you. Mola Ram says, if I drop the N-word, will you guys give me money? Just to do it on the phone. I fucked up what I said last night. Meant to say that you have Uno Clip is the best classic gamer chat I've ever seen. Damn near Leroy Jenkins. Victor says, don't forget that Beardo gives the best medical advice. Laughing my ass off. Z Highness is gay. Johnny Witzkid says, we may be in a race war because every day I see the same cases. Whites killed or assaulted by blacks and zero accountability or light sentences. This lady is an example of giving us absolute zero fucks anymore. We're fed up with the delinquents. Is that what you said? Given special treatment while whites are in danger zones almost anywhere by then. If this doesn't get addressed by Trump or anyone, we may as well have segregation. We'll see what happens with it, man. I think that we're heading in a very potential dangerous place right now with a lot of the racial tensions. And that does worry me. That does concern me. One thing that makes me happy is that JD Vance is our vice president. I have not watched this clip with JD Vance and Brett Baer. I don't know when the full interview is airing, but here we go.
More from Brett Baer's sit-down interview with Vice President.
She is fucking hot, bro. What's her name again? Chat, what's her name? Great personality. What's her name? I'm waiting for somebody to say it. Very nice. Is Aisha? Is that it? Aisha? Okay, here we go.
President JD Vance. They spoke yesterday in South Carolina, and the conversation turned to 2028 and who might be on the ballot.
You talk a lot about policy, but just the politics, and I know it's very Washington to talk about politics, but when the president says 2028 and he has the Trump 2028 hat, what do you think? I mean, what are you thinking? Is this real? Are you thinking about that? What's your reaction to that?
So I was at the Oval Office a couple days ago, and there were some Trump 2028 hats floating around, and I put one on. I said, Mr. President, if you took a photo of this would go super viral. Yeah. And we joked about it and laughed. Look, what I've said, Brett, is I think that the president and I are going to be working together for years to come. I think that we have a rare opportunity over these next 3 years to actually undo a lot of damage that was caused by not just the Biden administration, by 40 years of failed policy, but I think build a true American renaissance. That's what we're excited about. That's what I'm going to try to do. And if we succeed, then the politics will take care of themselves. And if we don't succeed, the politics will take care of themselves that way.
But you don't really think he's running in 2028, do you?
I'll let the president speak to his political.
Yeah, let's go.
Future. I think the president, one thing I'll say about the president of the United States is he loves to have a good time with the American media. And I really do think that if we take care of business over the next 3 years, we're going to be in a great position politically, whoever ultimately runs as the president of the United States in 2028.
On the Democratic side, do you think Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, is the new leader? Could it be Vance AOC in 2028?
President AOC, the stuff of nightmares, Brett. Thank you.
Dude, JD is a great VP, man. I'm so happy with JD Vance. He is a great VP. That's a great answer.
Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, is the new leader. Could it be Vance AOC in 2028?
President AOC, the stuff of nightmares, Brett. Thank you. You've ruined my sleep for this evening.
Who is the leader of the Democratic Party?
I don't know. Honestly,
Do you think about it?
I think to the extent the Democrats have a leader, Donald J. Trump is the leader of the Democratic Party.
They're against him
because they're just against everything that he does. I mean, who could possibly disagree with rebuilding American manufacturing and ensuring these steelworkers have higher wages and better jobs? But anytime Donald Trump does anything, they have this emotional response. They have to be against it. Who could disagree with deporting millions of illegal aliens, many of whom are violent criminals? But they do. They have. And I think that what they do is whenever Donald J. Trump does something, they react negatively to it. They don't have real leadership. And I think it's why I'm not too concerned about 2028, because if I wake up in a fantasy world where the Democrats actually have constructive ideas about how to govern this country, that'll actually be a good thing. But if in the world that we actually live in, where
he's so well spoken, he's so articulate, and as I've said many times, he basically, and I don't mean it disrespectfully towards Trump, because nobody can out-Trump Trump, but he does a better job of articulating President Trump's agenda to the everyday people that may not like Trump for whatever reason. He does a better job of articulating those points than Trump does.
they're just anti-Trump about everything, the politics of 2028 will take care of themselves.
I know the president talks about polls, and he's not a fan of how the polls are done. But the approval ratings for you, for the president, if you look at the polls, not just one, but a span of them, you know, are not great 100 days in. They're great on border security, but on the economy and overall approval, you know, it's a little underwater. And how do you look at that? What do you think that is from?
Yeah, so I'm a firm believer, Brett, that in the modern era, in 2025, opinion pollsters just don't know how to capture most Americans. They don't answer the phones. If they do answer the phone, they hang up immediately. I saw this in the 2024 election where, remember, I lived through this even more personally than you did, where every mainstream media pollster said Kamala Harris is going to win the popular vote. Kamala Harris is going to win 6 of 7, maybe even 7 battleground states. And there's one pollster I really trust. His name's Tony Fabrizio. I said, Tony, what's actually going on? And he said, unless I stopped knowing how to do my thing, we're going to win 7 of 7 battleground states, and you guys are going to win the national popular vote. You've got to be able to go to people where they are. I think that, again, you do a good job, you worry about the polls later, the politics will take care of itself. I mean, for the reasons I just said, I really am skeptical of these polls, Brett. I also just don't really care that much about the polls, even if they were accurate, because if we do a good job, if people see the results, then in 3 years, people will be talking about what a great job Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance did. That's all I really care about.
Hey,
there we go.
Sean Hannity.
Let's go back to her. All right. Let's go back to her. All right.
Who?
There. Okay. All right. I'll just leave. I'm not needed here anymore. There you go. Okay. Guys, happy now? I'm gone. I'll just leave this image up right there. Okay. It's probably a lot better without me here. All right. Get woke, go broke. 450 says LeBron is the GOAT. China's GOAT. China. Trump's voice. Let's freaking go. Listen, as I know, I know the demographics here on the channel. So, like, I have to imagine the majority of my audience understands that Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. That's not close, by the way. There's no debate. It's Michael Jordan. It's always been Michael Jordan, and it's probably always going to be Michael Jordan. And just because we have one LeBron fan in the chat, apparently, I decided to pull this moment up right here. Iconic moment, if you remember. So Dikembe Mutombo is talking shit to Michael Jordan about how he's never dunked on him, and Jordan decides to correct that. Now, Dikembe Mutombo was insane. All right, he was an insane defender. This is awesome.
Come on, man. It can't be for real. You haven't got me yet, huh? Mike, don't even try it. You want me to go call Scotty? You have to call Scotty. Boy. What you gonna call Scotty for? I haven't got you recently. Yeah, I agree with that. No, you haven't got me in 6 years. 1, 2, 3, just go ahead and say it. He never dunked on you? No. Never? He said, I'll get you one day. No. He never dunked on you. He never put you on the highlight. No. He said, I would love to give him my poster, but it's not happening. It's not going to happen. You know he's lying. It's never going to happen. Oh, man. All right, we're going to count.
The worst thing you can do is talk shit to Michael Jordan. So Dikembe Mutombo, who, how tall was Dikembe? Like 7'3"? I think he was like 7'3". Great defender. And he's telling Michael Jordan in front of all these guys, you've never dunked on me. Okay.
Boy, who gets Scotty?
Puts it off the glass. Nope, Luke tipped it out. Michael get it forward for the fresh shot clock. MJ. Oh, he did it. Oh, Michael shakes the finger, but he finally got his dunk on Mount Mutombo.
He never dunked on you. He never put you on the highlight. No. He said, I would love to give him my poster, but it's not happening. It's not going to happen.
Jordan's the best ever. 7'2", he was 7'2". Okay. But yeah, the bottom line is LeBron nonsense needs to go away. Okay. Because LeBron is not the GOAT. Never has been, never will be. He's a great player. LeBron's an incredible player, but he's not Jordan and he never will be. So that's just the bottom line. So just miss me with that bullshit. Okay. It's this TikTok generation that's decided to try to push this, holy crap. Now, the White House is tweeting this out. The White House is tweeting out the Pope, and they said nothing. All right? The White House official account has tweeted it out and said absolutely nothing. So could you imagine if you're just like, I think I'm going to have a Twitter account so I can follow the White House for all the proper, information. And they just tweet it out with nothing. So let's see here. The chat, I mean, the internet is going crazy over this whole situation, man. It's going crazy. Jason Platten for 50 says that Jesse Waters Doge interview made me feel totally vindicated for not for voting no on every stupid California proposition that raised taxes for the past 2 decades, even the ones that sounded great, because I knew my government was corrupt as fuck. 100%, man. We've all gotten a lot of validation, to be honest. There's been a ton of validation recently with everything that we've seen that the government getting the government's uncovered, or at least Doge has uncovered from the government. It's really, really crazy, man. And to be fair, it's probably going to get worse. It's probably going to get worse with all of the stuff, because I think that this is only the tip of the iceberg. Can you imagine just how filthy decades and decades and decades of corruption looks? You know? So Big Balls is ruining them. It's so good, dude. It's so good. Let me see here. There was a what is this? So this is in 2018. Thank you, Jason, for the 50. I appreciate it, brother. Veronid for 20. This is for the cause. Thank you, Veronid. Appreciate that. So right here, 2018, Tucker Carlson has Eric Swalwell on to present evidence of Trump's collusion with Russia. Swalwell on evidence of collusion. When we look back at this in 25 years, we're going to be amazed at how much of it was right in front of us. Let's listen to this dog shit really quick. Just from 2018, this is evidence of Russia collusion.
But is there actual evidence? I've followed this pretty carefully. Where's the actual evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and Putin?
So 2014, 15, 16, Russians hack into our DNC. They weaponize social media. 2015, they make what I think is the first approach that we know. So Felix Sater, Russian American, former business partner with Donald Trump, approaches Donald Trump's lawyer, Michael Cohen, and says, let's get Donald Trump to build a Trump Tower in Moscow.
Right.
We can engineer this, get Trump and Putin together, and make our boy president. So that's the first known approach. So
what?
Hacking's going on, and you start to see these different approaches. And there's 2 different types of approaches. There's the approaches to get Trump and Putin together, which is unusual because he's a candidate. And then there's the approaches to preview the hacked emails that the Russians have against Hillary Clinton. So you see that offer made to George Papadopoulos. What does candidate Trump?
When was this? This is 2018. This is, so you see right here up in the top corner, 2018.
He invites the Russians on a public stage to hack more.
I mean, I hate to inject common sense into this.
Would you do it in broad daylight?
To make secret contact with Russia, your handlers back in Moscow, wouldn't you dial them up in the shortwave in the basement? Would you really send a coded message in the middle of a joke at a press conference?
I'm not saying he's the smartest guy in the world, Tucker. Never accused him of that.
That's the
part of the evidence.
Gun right there.
That's part of the evidence. An invitation made by the candidate.
At a press
telling him it's okay.
Okay, but
he's not the smartest guy in the world.
Television. Okay, so he's both a secret agent for Putin, but he's so dumb that he spills his secrets at a press conference on TV.
The latter.
You heard the people laughing at the end of what he said, right?
He's broadcasting. He's committing, the offer in broad daylight. Sure.
Why wouldn't he just act through all the many Russian agents?
So let me continue. So at the same time,
those are fair questions, right? It's a little confusing.
Completely fair questions.
So what's the answer?
But there's no,
why would he do it in public?
Why did he admit to Lester Holt obstruction of justice in public? There's no who could be so stupid they commit the crime in public exception. He did it.
Has any secret agent ever broadcast a message at a press conference to his handlers ever?
Has any businessman ever been elected president? Sometimes you're the first person to do it. So Tucker, again, he made the invitation.
Okay. Where's the actual proof that something happened after more than a year of this?
Well, I'm not the prosecutor. I don't have subpoena power. Bob Mueller does. All I'm saying
you do have a high-level security clearance, and you're on the Intel committee, so presumably you'd have more than like a clip of him at a.
I'm only giving you the evidence that I've seen in an unclassified manner. So I'm telling you that all of that warrants looking at whether we could prove beyond a reasonable doubt conspiracy to defraud the United States. Those are the.
Aren't we working on that? I mean, we've been working.
Well,
on that for a long time.
This is TDS, ladies and gentlemen. This is 7 years ago. And we're now sitting here after Trump has been the most investigated human being of our lifetime. That is not a debatable response by that's not a debatable comment. Donald Trump is the most investigated human being maybe that's ever lived, but he's certainly of our lifetime. There has never been a human being that has been investigated more than Donald Trump. And they can't find anything on him. They can't find anything. I remember when Trump started to run for president in 2015. I remember saying to myself, hey, I really like Trump. I think he's a really entertaining guy. I think he would be entertaining to get into politics. There's no way that Trump is clean, though, right? Like, he's been famous for all of these years. He's a billionaire. He's got women around. Like, he's probably got a lot of skeletons in his closet. The man has nothing. They can't find anything on him.
Not with the obstruction that we continue to see, the continued undermining, the trying to.
So that's it? That's all you got?
No.
Okay, so what's the part I haven't heard? Tell me. I'm waiting. Because I want to look. If he's.
It's right in front of your nose, Tucker.
Tell me what
it's right in front of your nose.
Another press conference he gave with more secret messages, or tell me?
Again, Tucker, when we look back on this in 25 years, we're going to be amazed at how much of it was right in front of us.
So we sent Javelin missiles to the Ukrainian rebels. We've opened up domestic oil production here, which hurts them, and gas production. We have killed over 200 Russians in Syria. We have bombed the government of Bashar al-Assad, which is their closest ally outside their borders. In what sense has he been pro-Russia as president? And I say this with sadness because I don't think he should be doing any of that.
Yeah, well, all the favorable things that he says, bringing Russians into the Oval Office, kicking out
killing
Americans.
the 200 Russians. He's been.
Did he kill her?
He sent the U.S. military.
I think you're giving him too much credit.
I don't know. Look, I'm not flacking for Trump. I don't think he should have done it. I criticized him.
I know you did.
Show.
You're absolutely right.
I'm just telling you, he's killed 200 Russians. Obama did not do that. He sent missiles to Ukrainian rebels. Obama did not do that. He is competing in energy with them in a way Obama never tried. Why is he more pro-Russian than Obama was?
Don't confuse what he has to do because the public sentiment is so high and watching.
What? God, the spin is out of control. Even he doesn't believe this. Even he doesn't believe this.
Again, you give him too much credit. You're giving him too much credit.
I'm not giving him credit. I'm criticizing him. I don't think he should be doing any of it. I'm just saying this whole thing is insane. That's what I'm saying.
So, and then you have all the consciousness of guilt evidence, right? All of the lies that have been told, whether it was about the June 9th meeting, the Russian adoption excuse, and then moving it, what it was really about. But so that's consciousness of guilt. A lot of times, the way someone acts after an investigation is launched can tell you what they were doing.
I guess I'm not. You know what? I'm not. So again, clairvoyant. Maybe that's not why I'm not in
don't
Congress.
confuse evidence with the conclusion. There's more than enough evidence to continue.
This is why I dismiss almost any criticism of Trump from people on the left. Like, I just don't care because it's so many of these clowns have spewed such garbage about him that I just dismiss it completely. I just don't care. I don't care to hear their feelings. I don't care how upset they are. It doesn't matter to me. Now, we were watching, we were talking a little bit about basketball. And in honor of that, Greg Popovich, who's been the coach of the San Antonio Spurs, and to be fair, he's been one of the greatest coaches in NBA history. He's also got a severe case of TDS, massive case of TDS. And here's some of his greatest hits right here. Let's listen in.
I'm a little confused about our city and why it's Indigenous Peoples Day / Columbus Day. Columbus. I mean, he initiated a New World genocide. That's what he did. And beginning with him and what he set in motion and what followed meant the annihilation of every indigenous person in Hispaniola, which was Haiti and the Dominican Republic today. That's what he did. He took slaves, he mutilated, he murdered, and
somebody said this is what old man brain rot looks like.
they're gonna say slash and honor him. Well, I got to give the San Antonio Independent School District a little bit of credit because at least they added Indigenous Peoples Day along with it. And that's a step in the right direction. But what the hell is Alamo Heights thinking? It's Columbus Day. That's why they're off on Monday. Maybe there's something I'm missing and I'm ignorant. But
you
it
think?
makes me feel like they're living in a phone booth and they're educating our kids. Columbus Day, and we're going to honor that. And it's no knock on Italian Americans. That's a silly argument. It's like saying we should be proud of Hitler because we're German. I mean, it makes no sense.
How does an 18-year-old, wait a minute, why can anybody buy an AR-15? I shouldn't be able to buy one. You shouldn't be able to buy one. What the hell do you need an AR-15 for?
So he's pathetic. He's small. He's a whiner. We all know that. But you wouldn't have him babysit your kids. You wouldn't hire him if you had a small business. You want that man in your business? There's no way. But we're going to vote for him for president because he's strong? I mean, Kamala Harris whipped his ass in the debate.
No. Holy shit. I've never heard that part.
Just obviously, and he's running ever since. He doesn't want any part of her because, as she said before, she's eaten many of his type for lunch. As an attorney general, as a prosecutor, he's a small fry compared to some of the people she's gone after.
What?
And he knows it.
Ladies and gentlemen, TDS. And again, we're talking about one of the greatest coaches in NBA history. Like, I'm not going to take that away from Greg Popovich. He is one of the greatest coaches. And it just shows you how much TDS can destroy your mind. Destroys it. It's unbelievable what it does to people. No, he ain't the greatest in my. I didn't say he was the greatest. I said he's one of. Like he's an all-time great coach. I wouldn't say he's the greatest, but I definitely put him among the greatest for sure. Look at this. Competitive racism now has leaderboards. So I think she's going to pass. I think she's going to pass Carmelo. I think she's absolutely going to pass him. She's at 463,000 and he was at 519,000. She's going to blow past him. She's going to blow past him. She may hit 1 million. She actually might hit 1 million. Can we vote on this? Woo! That's wild, man. So I guess we'll see what happens. But I think we're in for some scary times, to say the least. Very scary times. But I guess we'll see. Time will tell, right? My goodness, man. This happened. So Van Jones went on CNN and he got completely destroyed. All right, here we go. Check this out. Van Jones, CNN. This didn't go the way he wanted it to go.
If you had to do it all over again, would you vote for Donald Trump again? Yes or no?
Yes, I would. Mm-hmm. Now, in the future, I am not a diehard Democrat or a diehard Republican. If there were a Democratic candidate who was more aligned for me, then I would vote Democrat.
If you go back in time, would you vote for Donald Trump? Yes or no?
Yes.
I think I might know the answer on this next.
She said yes. It's immediately yes. No, I'm sorry.
If you had to do it all over again, would you vote for Donald Trump? Yes or no?
1,000%. Absolutely yes.
Let's go. Van Jones getting destroyed. And I love when CNN puts themselves in these situations right here where they paint this narrative that, you know, that it's only angry white dudes in their basement. And in reality, no, that's not the case at all. There's a real world out there, and the real world doesn't doesn't care about your narratives. And that's what sucks about this, is because I don't truly think that, like, I know for a fact we have a lot of black people that watch, Geeks and Gamers and watch this. And it's not that, they don't care about all this bullshit, but it's the fringe group of leftists that push this BLM racial division bullshit that's going to lead to something far worse, unfortunately, I think. And, I don't know how it stops. I mean, I saw that Officer Brandon Tatum was on with Stephen A. Smith, and I saw that, he was calling out a lot of BS, and he always has, by the way. I haven't watched the whole interview with him, but I saw a little bit of their discussion. And it's really cool when you finally are like, you see people that are just destroying the narrative, but the left and the mainstream is still out there twisting things like crazy. And I don't know. We're going to have to see how this all plays out. I mean, right now people are putting together superhero teams. I'm putting together a team right now of people that have said the N-word, apparently. Oh, God. I'm putting together a team. I know you are, Keenan. I know you are. Keenan, you're awesome. So there's a lot. There's a lot of memes right now going around that people are, referencing. So, okay. So this right here, I've not watched this clip. I only bookmarked it. But apparently, guy who filmed the N-word girl in the park addresses the P-word allegations. What do you think? So if this is real, then here we go.
Flash news to everybody. If investigations are happening on a serious crime, which I was being accused of, was in the past, that I've assaulted somebody, I should say.
How high is this mofo, dude? How high is this?
Terminology, which has been proven that I have never done anything wrong, and the case was dismissed. Why am I guilty of something in a court of law dismissed? Tell me, why am I? I'm getting death threats.
Oh, poor baby. Poor baby. So you, if this is the person, and I'm just going on the tweet, okay? I'm going on the tweet that's saying that this is the guy. So guy who filmed the N-word girl in the park addresses the P-word allegations. Hey, curious, why did a 16-year-old accuse you of picking her up in Rochester Kiwi trip after she ran away from home after you brought her back to your house and accused you of graping her? When she went back to her foster home, she wanted to play the victim card so attention could not get into trouble. So she said she was assaulted, later admitted after she ruined our lives. If this is the person, this is the greatest piece of karma I have ever seen in my life. This is the greatest piece of karma ever. He recorded this chick and he said, let's see what the internet thinks about you using the N-word. Yeah, guess what? The internet has given her nearly $500,000. If this is the case. So, but that's where we're at with it. So I'd heard a lot of allegations about the person that recorded it, but I don't know. But I believe all women today, exactly. Those that preach the loudest have the most to hide every single time. That's how it always works out. I've been saying that forever. I'm not the first person that's ever said that, but I have made a point to say that enough. It's why I don't, with virtue signalers and all of that, I just don't, it's like anything else. When I see somebody on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and they're constantly projecting how great their life is, how wonderful everything is, I always think like you're covering something up, because if your life is that great, you wouldn't just be posting about it on social media nonstop. You would just be living the life. But you need to project that your life is great because you're compensating for something that you're missing. You know, I will never forget Dave Chappelle's comment about this. I always reference this because I think it's the greatest way to describe life. Because he's like, do I have a great life? He goes, my life is like an above ground pool. It's a pool. And I was like, holy shit, it's the greatest. And that would be mine. Like, my life is, I have a good life. My life is like an above ground pool. It's a pool, but it's an above ground pool. It's not the greatest. It's got problems. I have issues. I have stress just like everybody else. But yeah, it's above ground pool. That's life, you know? And it's a very good way to break the whole thing down. Now, yeah, but anyway, the projection of that and all of that. So people putting their life out on social media, and they carefully are calculated with how they're presenting the images. Oh, I'm going here, I'm going there, me and this and that. No. And so when I see people on social media constantly projecting about how virtuous they are and how great they are, I feel like it's always a red flag. It's always a red flag. Another red flag is this clown right here. Look at this horse. AOC, are you thinking of running for president? AOC, because of my Instagram post? I mean, listen, it's a video. Benny says, please run her.
You thinking about running for president or senate?
Because of my Instagram post?
No,
what? I don't even know what she's referencing. Why is that her? What a terrible response.
You thinking about running for president or senate?
Because of my Instagram post?
No, the video, the campaign style video. It's got everybody talking.
I mean, listen, it's a video, and frankly, I think what people should be most concerned about is the fact that Republicans are trying to cut Medicaid right now, and people's health care is in danger. And that's really what my central focus is. This moment isn't about campaigns or elections or about politics. It's about making sure people are protected.
You thinking about?
She's insufferable, dude. Like, she's insufferable. She might be more like, she's better to look at than Kamala, but she might be more annoying to listen to. And that's a lot. That's a lot. Holy shit, man. All right, what is this right here? CNN asked if Doge is a success. Here we go, right here. I have not seen this.
Musk is claiming $160 billion in estimated savings, obviously with a lot of cuts, but that is way less than was promised. Rob, is it considered a success?
So far, yes, I would say. I mean, remember, Doge's work isn't going to be completed until July 4th of 2026. We're only 100 days in. So comparatively, when you go back decades and look at the failure of anyone, whether it be in the presidential administration or Congress, to reduce the size of government, you have to go back to what, Bill Clinton and Newt Gingrich when they had a balanced budget? I'd say yes.
So to you, it was like a necessary fire starter.
Absolutely.
Okay, I want to talk about how Elon Musk thinks of himself. This is from the Washington Post. Asked who would lead it when he fades, he demurred, is Buddha needed for Buddhism? Was it not stronger after he passed away?
I just want to sit with that for a moment.
Yeah, let's hold space for that.
Let's hold space for that. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, that aside, I think in response to what you were saying, is it a success? If you consider slashing and burning the federal government with very little oversight and no sense of what comes after that, what is necessary or unnecessary, then perhaps it is a success. If you actually think that what was necessary is perhaps a scalpel and not a machete, or in his case, what was it that he was holding up? The chainsaw.
Yeah.
Then perhaps not. I mean, there is no question that what Elon Musk managed to do, no one thought he was going to be able to do. I remember talking about this before the administration came in, and
You mean just the number, the
no,
target,
just
or just the
just
whole way?
that everyone had tried this, that his role, that he was going to get bogged down, that it was just never going to, that all the sort of red tape of and bureaucracy of the government wasn't actually going to be able to be cut. And of course, he's managed to go through that.
That was a lot of word salad from her perspective. Seeing the Gulf of America hat from Elon right here reminds me that I had to show you guys something really quickly. So in Pensacola Beach, I'm in the Panhandle area. And in Pensacola Beach, we have an iconic sign. And that sign has been redone right here. So right here, our iconic Pensacola Beach sign has a new look. It no longer reads Gulf of Mexico, but instead Gulf of America with an American flag coloring. Let's fucking go. Drive east along the Gulf of America. Let's go. Fucking love it, man. That's the best shit ever. So I was super happy to see this. There was obviously some triggered people in the replies, because of course they were. But it's beautiful to see, as you see right here. Scenic drive east along the Gulf of America. Freaking beautiful. Freaking fantastic. All right, let's get some super chats. Let's see. Heartbreak Zero says, I find it truly pathetic how badly the Democratic Soviet Party has tried to turn Trump's, I don't even know how to say that word, into felonies. National security threats. This is why we shouldn't interrupt their decline. This is true. This is true. Lord of the Ring Nerd says, Hail Snake Pit. Today has been super stressful, and I'm so tired of asshole people. Thanks for doing what you do, Jeremy. You always bring laughs, and you've created a great community. Thank you. Hey, man. First of all, sorry to hear that. I always love your profile picture. It's such a great moment, that moment where they sail through there. But yeah, I'm sorry you've had a bad day, but I'm glad that I can help in any way, shape, or form, along with the wonderful Snake Pit, man. So happy to help, brother. Elite Neo for 50 says, hey, I recognize that sign. Hashtag Pensacola represent. Hell yeah, baby. Let's go. That's awesome, man. Shout out to you, Elite Neo. Appreciate you, man. Let's see. Eric K says, LaFlop, no party like a Diddy party, James. That's right. The Under Armour Gamer says, when I was at a Seahawks game, Seahawk fans left early because they were getting punked. What a waste of money leaving early. Heard that. Eric says, you should check on Mike. He's talking about alien face hugger rule 34 on his stream. That gives me every reason why not to want to check on him. Victor, I got that one. Eric K says, lies, you came back. She should be the default host. The Masked Marvel says, Jordan staring down John Calipari is the best. Ira Skywalker says, Bill Laimbeer is better than Jordan in every way. Clear troll. Clear troll. Jim P says, if you don't think MJ has been the best basketball player in the NBA, you're an F-tard. That is true. Or you're just too young to appreciate the greatness of Michael Jordan. I mean, some people are just too, I hate you get those signs of like how you're getting older because you're like, people don't or whatever, you know what I mean? It's some kids don't understand the greatness of Jordan, and it's so sad. It's very, very sad. Solo Felix says, this bozo makes Beardo look like a genius. Chester says, to all my fellow Aussies, vote One Nation today. Let's turn our country around. Taker says, does Popovich know he's white? Probably not. Elydium X Game says, I've been reading The Art of the Deal and finished watching all seasons of The Apprentice on Prime. How can you hate Trump? I don't get it. I know, man. It's crazy. Mola Ram for 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Molaram. Appreciate that. Let's see. TDS literally gave Pope a stroke. Holy crap. Panic and Skyfaller says New York Post, Kilmar Garcia bragged that he could kill his wife and get away with it. She claimed in new unearthed protective order request. Really? Interesting. Axiom says the world doesn't need women talking government. Taker says someone on the left should argue that Trump should resign over trans policies because like trans women, he can only beat women and not men. Polite Rude Guy says, vote Republican in 2026. Supermajority in Congress. Gremlin for 10 on Rumble says, Chris Rock said it best. I love my black people, but I hate them ninjas. Ninja. I didn't get, by the way, when I, for the first time in my life, on accident, said a certain word, I didn't get $500,000. Okay. It's the first time I've ever said it. Never said it in traffic. Never said it when I stumped my toe. Never said it. Okay. It's never happened. It's the first time ever. Never said it in Xbox Live parties. Okay. Never done that. I would never do that. Polite Rude Guy says, I will absolutely vote for Donald Trump for a 3rd term. Let's freaking go. Because you didn't ask. This is true. All right. To be fair, you put an A at the end. Okay, that's true. Crapdar's Hammer says in super chats. I ain't got 500,000 in super chats, but we've had a pretty damn good run. Dan the Man says Russell has 11 titles. That doesn't matter. Bill Russell does have 11 titles. He's not better than Jordan. But my top 5, okay, you're going to get mad at my top 5. Now, I always say my top 5 only consist of players I have seen in person, or not in person, but like I witnessed, I'm alive to see. Jordan is number 1, and then there's the Grand Canyon. All right. This is the part you're going to get mad about, but I have LeBron number 2. I have Magic 3, I have Bird 4, and I have Akeem Olajuwon number 5. Those are the 5 greatest NBA players I've ever seen. Now, I know the Kobe fans are going to want to put Kobe number 1. Kobe's my favorite basketball player ever. Kobe is not better than Jordan. You guys need to stop that nonsense. Kobe is not better than Jordan. Okay. It's just not. Let's see here. Got that one. Westward Smile says, to think I've been saying it for free all of these years. I know, right? I know. But I do think Akeem Olajuwon is the greatest big man I've ever seen in basketball. His footwork was incredible. His mid-range game was insane. Olajuwon, I think, is underrated, to be fair. I think he's way underappreciated. Olajuwon was stupid good. Heart Ponder for $20 says the left has TDS because they think they're morally superior. Their derangement comes from a place of pride, of self-righteousness. How can they give Trump credit when he's a rapist on the right? That's their mentality. You are 1,000% correct. 1,000% correct. And yeah, I mean, it's a moral superiority standpoint. They truly think they're better than you. And they've decided that you're beneath them and they can't have a conversation with you. They can't acknowledge you. And they've built themselves in such a corner with Trump that they can never get out of it. You can't, once you've decided that Trump is the most evil human being that's ever existed, there's not a whole lot you can do. You can't, what are you going to do? How can you work with that? How can you say, oh, well, he's the most evil human being ever, but we're still going to shake hands and make a deal. It's crazy, man. Thank you for the 20. I appreciate it. Vespian says they literally changed the rules of the NBA to favor Jordan style because MJ couldn't beat the Pistons. Well, I mean, he did struggle against the Pistons for sure in those first few rounds. But I mean, once he got over the hump, he got over the hump. But hey, man, who's better than Jordan, Vespian? Name it. Tell me. Who's better than Jordan? You going to say Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars? Who are you going to say? Let's see. They think we're crying on the internet. Larry Bird, I love Larry Legend is people don't appreciate the greatness of Larry Legend. That dude was so scrappy. It was crazy, man. Reggie Miller was great too. Reggie Miller was awesome. Here at Globo, Jim, we're better than you, and we know it. One of my favorite quotes from any movie. I love Dodgeball. Dodgeball is fucking awesome. If you haven't seen Dodgeball, you should be watching it. Delonte West is better than Jordan. Listen, all I know is Delonte West banged LeBron's mom, okay? So in a lot of ways, Delonte West might be the GOAT because he did. Delonte West banged LeBron's mom. That's all you need to know right there. All right? What? That is wild. Like, it really happened. Like, he banged LeBron's mom. That's GOAT stuff right there, bro. Grant Potato says, do you think Kobe was listening to Helicopter song? Doof. Still too early, man. Still too early. Too soon. All right. Well, we're going to end it there. I am thinking about, for the first time since the first day of the year, tomorrow night, I think I'm going to do a gaming live stream on D-Day Cobra Gaming. Do you guys hear that? There's a lot of you that's been yelling at me about this. Okay. So I think tomorrow night, I'm bringing Fortnite back. All right. Tomorrow night on D-Day Cobra Gaming, I'm going to see if Jay is available. I'm going to see if a few other people are available, and we're going to bring it back. I have not played Fortnite in a long time, so I think we're going to bring it back tomorrow night. So if you have not subscribed, you can do that right there. Jessica just dropped the link to my gaming channel. Yeah, should be fun. So there we go. So I think the first of the year is the last time I streamed over there. So let's do it, baby. Let's bring it back. But thank you guys so much for an awesome stream. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the gifted memberships, for all of the super chats, and for the conversation, and just for being here and hanging out, man. I really appreciate it. Eric K says Chamberlain, Jordan, Kobe, Bird, Magic, Kareem. Not bad. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate it. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow night on D-Day Cobra Gaming for the first time since the first of the year. Bye, everyone.